Okay, here we go.
Hello, mister. Hello, mister.
Oh, Daddy.
What?
This is heavy friending. I'm friending you so hard. An alliance slowly forming like a boner in my heart. So if you wanna fucking friend me, better give me all you got. No, I don't take this lightly, cause it's heavy. Heavy friending.
There is an eagle flying. Yeah! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the prestigious Heavy Friending Podcast. My name is Joe Barlow. I'm here with my good
And I'm
friend,
Laura Lee Bishop.
Laura Lee Bishop. Hi. Hi, Laura.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
You know, I feel good. I'm glad that we're doing this thing where we do the bonus episode first, because I feel like we get a lot off our chest that would then come out in this episode, and we want to keep it fun today.
Yeah, we got angry, we got mad.
We got real angry. Guys.
I talked badly about a lot of people, and
you actually, I was impressed with how you talked. I was like, finally. I mean,
for a cis white male, it's about time I spoke out.
It's about fucking
But
time.
again, I'm only doing it on the bonus because this is light. This is fun.
Yeah. We don't want to affect real change.
Well, and also I do hope that this podcast is a positive force in people's lives. So you're probably dealing with what we do on the bonus episode in your personal life. Hopefully this is a little more fun.
Well, I was listening to this Talkin' Sopranos, which is a podcast about the Sopranos, where two of the actors from it.
Never would have guessed that.
You're a dick. And
Guys,
that's who
we're having fun. This is the fun episode.
But I'll say this. They started an episode talking about COVID, and I was like, oh, shut the fuck. Like, I was so mad about it. You know what I mean? I was like, I want to fucking hear about COVID. I'm trying to listen about this fucking episode. And I thought, we do that. But, we aren't talking Sopranos. We're not there to talk about Sopranos. We're here to talk about life. So I guess we bring in life things. But, we're trying to keep it light for your entertainment. Okay?
Okay. Here's a question for you. What if we did a Sopranos podcast?
Us doing Talking Sopranos?
Well, but maybe it's just the bonus episodes. I've never seen The Sopranos.
Oh my God. It's so good, Joe.
Or what if we did a West Wing podcast?
I've honestly thought of this. I'm not kidding. I've thought of us doing something where we did a series and we talked about each episode just because I think it would be fun.
Well, we could also do, because I sort of started reading that Alfred Hitchcock book.
Oh yeah. I want to do a TV series because I think that's easier for people to do with us. You know what I mean? Well, call us at our hotline. Number is, what's the number?
Okay, just give me 10 minutes to pull
Okay,
it up.
well, before I'll get here in 10 minutes, I'll tell you could also email us, heavyfriending@gmail.com.
Nice. Okay.
You can also find us on social media at heavyfriending, and let us know what's like the series that you would like us to watch together and talk about. And it'll probably be just on I think it should just be a paid, on Patreon only.
I agree. And then
a certain tier, even honestly, not all tiers, maybe a $5 tier situation. You know what I mean? I'm just saying.
I was just thinking it would be
It's basically us adding a whole nother podcast to our lives. I think that we deserve to be paid for it.
Well, okay. I mean, we can discuss this probably off mic because it's
okay. Well, we'll talk. Well, yeah. We don't. You guys don't want to hear us talk about our business.
Definitely let us know. It will definitely not be on this podcast because this is a friendship-based podcast. Yeah. We can't talk about TV
unless it was
shows
a show about friendship. We could do Friends.
If we did Friends, honestly, it would be really an easy transition because heavy friending makes sense.
Doing Friends would be funny because I just imagine us talking about Friends for like an hour. The episodes are only 20 minutes.
I haven't really seen that show. I've seen only a few handfuls.
All right. Well, it's an idea. Y'all just let us know what you think would be good and what you're interested in hearing. And I promise you, we will take that into account for sure.
We will, especially if you're already a patron, because we value your opinion more.
Definitely. We do.
our heavy
Money
friending
talks.
hotline is well, did you make a jingle for this? I thought we were.
No, I said I was going to after my album is done, and that's not finished yet. So
okay. So what's the time estimate here?
A couple weeks.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Then I guess I'll
Not
do
too
the
long.
jingle. I'll do it just live a cappella, sort of.
Sure, great.
My vocal stylings.
Thank you.
Some of us are gifted in the musical sense where we don't necessarily need all that production and stuff. We can just sort of come up with it.
Yeah, 'cause you
Boom,
can't do it.
on the fly.
You can't do it.
So here's the phone number. Please call in and use this jingle. This will help you remember the number. do, 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 213 394 thunder 9214.
I love that. That was like, I wasn't expecting you to do that because you did and that's another thing, guys, about comedy. Okay.
What's that?
He did the duh a couple of times. So you're expecting to hear it again. But then what you do in comedy, you change it.
Your voice changed.
Okay. You flip it.
Your voice is out of control.
I have a lot of things I do with my voice. I'm a vocalist. I would love to do voice acting. I think that would be so fun.
I would love for you to do voice acting also.
Yeah, I don't know how to get into that, but it's something I'm very interested in for sure.
Well, I would love to as well. And
quit copying me. Okay.
I do a lot of, people who listen to this show, Austin's number one.
Don't do characters. Don't say that because that's going to be a huge lie if you say that.
It's Austin's number one friendship-based podcast.
Oh, well, that's true. That's true.
But I do characters. You know that I do.
That's not true.
One of us is known for the character work and
it's me.
The commitment to the characters.
No,
so I'll kind of run through my charters just so everybody knows.
Well, yeah. Oh, please do. I'd love that. Yeah. Run through your characters.
We've got Dwayne.
Hey,
there's where's the
I feel like you do that
Dwayne.
Voice actually sometimes.
That's
true.
Well, that's Dwayne.
That's one of your go-tos.
He's a funny guy. And
I didn't know he had a name, but
you never know what he's gonna.
You've never really worked that character. Like you just do that voice, and then I guess you gave it a name today. But that's okay. Go ahead.
Well, that was one character. It's just one character, but he's probably Now
let me tell you all about comedy.
Okay.
This if Joe's going to adhere to what I think he would do naturally, and you tell me if this is wrong. It's going to ruin your joke, but I just want to see if I know you this well.
Okay.
That the next character would have a different name and the exact same voice.
Oh, see, that's funny. That's funny. That was not what I was going to do.
Oh, okay.
But that's pretty funny.
Okay.
Because I think the problem with me and characters is, if you want to peek behind the curtain, my process, I kind of forget what he already sounded like. So I don't know who Dwayne is anymore. I know his name's Dwayne. I couldn't do that voice. And that's one of the struggles of character work.
It's true.
So then I have another character.
You have to work the character. You have to understand the character. It's not just a voice. It's who is that person and what does their apartment look like? Or are they married? Do they have children? And what are their fears? And, of course.
Yes, Queen. Yeah. And so this character is a little character I like to call George. We're not gonna do. And that's a character called George.
Okay.
So
excellent.
Two of the characters, both popular.
Yeah.
We can sprinkle them in more, but I don't want to.
Sure.
I don't want to lay all my cards on the table.
Yeah, I definitely want to get back. I definitely want to get back to our characters more in future episodes. But today, all right. But today, what we are going to do, okay, is we're talking bearing it all. We're talking stripping it away and getting down to, the bare essentials. Okay. We're talking bodies. We're talking
bodies. And don't you think we did an episode about this?
We definitely talked about our insecurities with our bodies, but today it's a little bit different because today we're talking body positivity. We're talking about something very empowering that you've done, Joe, and inspiring, frankly.
Yes.
Especially for someone who looks like you. It's a bold thing.
What does that mean?
So groundbreaking. And it's probably, I don't know if it's ever been done before even, right? So I think this is huge. This is a big deal today.
I'm so glad that you're supportive of my journey.
Oh,
because
yes.
I think you're right. When I was a little kid growing up in Northern Illinois, people said the world is really your oyster, young man. You could, develop a cure for the coronavirus, COVID-19.
Yeah.
They said you could develop a website called Amazon.com. They said you could be the developer of the iPhone. And there were a lot of these things that they said. And at the time, this is the 90s. I love the 90s, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
That's so fun.
It was a really good time. Bucket hats. Oh, my God. I had a Tweety Bird bucket hat.
Oh, my gosh. That sounds really fun.
Six Flags.
That sounds really fun. Six Flags was very popular in the 90s.
Oh, my God. It was so big. That guy. They got dancing.
That might have been in the new millennium, do you think?
Oh, maybe it was. I don't know. It may have been.
It may have been
in, early 2000s, late 90s, 6 to 1, half dozen to the other.
For some reason, I thought he was post 9/11.
Hey, whoa, really?
Yeah.
Oh, it may be true. That may be true. I don't know.
I don't know either. You know what? I wish we could find.
I wish there were a way to find out, but who cares? All right, go ahead.
Worldwide storage of information.
Let's get back to you and your bravery.
Well, that's the thing. So growing up, it's like the world's your oyster. You could be the Six Flags guy. And I was like, oh, what should I be? I never considered a career in now what I've actually been paid to do. Like I got paid to make comedy, write jokes on a late night comedy show.
No, that's crazy.
What a dream. That was actually a dream.
Yeah. It's crazy that they did that. They paid you to do that.
I agree. And I think it's also crazy that they canceled the show after 9 months and not let it,
just give it another few months at least.
Well, yeah. I mean, I signed a 3-year contract. Like, let it do 3 years. Why did I sign a 3-year contract if you're just like, no, the show's canceled? So, but this was a new thing. And a director, a famous director, reached out to me and he said, Joe, we're shooting this commercial in Austin and we think you'd be perfect for it. And I said, well, this is an honor. What is it? Is it Cadillac? Is it Rolex?
Fleshlight.
I guess what brand are we talking about? What did you instantly think, oh, Joe Barlow is going to be the guy for this?
Right.
And it turns out the answer to that, this, Laura, the answer is men's underwear.
Well, not men's, but underwear.
What do you mean not men's?
Well, it's also women's underwear.
Well, I'm only advertising the men's underwear.
Also, men's underwear, women's underwear, it's like, why we got to gender it? It's like you guys act like we have different parts.
Well,
or anatomy.
Underwear, it's probably.
I'm just kidding. That is one thing. Let me say something a little bit offensive. Okay.
Great.
Because I want to do that because that's what I like to do on this show. My name's Laura Lee Bishop. This is Heavy Friending. I say offensive things on it. Okay. That's what I do. Yeah, I get it. People are saying we shouldn't have gendered clothing, but there is a reason that there's gendered clothing. And the reason is that a female body and a man's body are shaped differently. Like when I put on my husband's basketball shorts, it's so uncomfortable. Like y'all's waistbands are way tighter than a woman's waistband because our hips are wider. And the way that where a pair of shorts hits us on our hips is different than where it's wider where it hits us. And then you put it on and it's just, there's a reason fucking why for some of those things. And I think there's a t-shirt or whatever is different, but also a jacket, a sports coat or something. Women have more narrow shoulders. Most 99.9% of the female population has more narrow shoulders, than men. There's a reason that some of our clothing is gendered. Okay. And I would like it to stay that way because I want my clothes to fit me right. I don't want to be wearing these basketball shorts where it's cutting off the circulation to my fucking torso. Okay. So, all right. That's
or
all
if we're all wearing potato sacks.
Now, potato sacks, that's different. That's not gendered because a potato sack is going to hit y'all or it's going to hit you. It doesn't matter whether you're a man, woman, anything or whatever. Potato sack doesn't matter.
You're pro potato sack.
I would not have a problem with it. I think that our court system should go to like, you know, how the barristers do in England. Like they should wear like a uniform type thing with the little hat, with the little hair that goes over their head and where they look like dumbasses.
Okay.
What I'm saying is I don't mind like uniforms and stuff like that, but yeah, I don't want to wear y'all's tight shorts or your weird underwear with the hole in the front.
You have a very specific view on this.
It's all basketball short related.
All basketball shorts. It's weird. Yeah. I would have thought, and that's surprising to me, I would have thought basketball shorts, since they're, you know, generally a little baggy. It's
different.
Yeah.
It's different. I'm telling you, you can ask a woman if she's ever put on her boyfriend's or her husband's or her friend, whatever.
I'd love to ask a woman.
I have to qualify fucking everything.
I'd love to ask a woman.
Yeah, I bet you would just like to have a conversation with one. But
it would be a change of pace.
Yeah. Well, you have me, so I'm telling you, you put on your boyfriend's pants or whatever. It's not the same. Like if they wear like a 29 waist, it ain't a 29 waist on a woman. It's just different. It hits different.
Well, your sizing is messed up, anyways. Because with us, it's like you're a 32 waist that represents a measurement.
Yeah. It's different with women's. You know, you're a 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, or you're a 3, 6, 9. You know, it goes in. It's a different size every time. Sometimes it is a 30 or 30. Or 29, whatever. It's different every time. And they all fit different. And it's weird as shit. And our clothes are just it's bizarre.
It ain't right.
It ain't right.
It ain't right. Let's simplify it. Okay.
Yeah.
How big your hips? That's the question.
How big a hips you got, girl?
Hips? And no judgment about how big they are, but we just want to give you the article of clothing that'll fit you nice. It'll be comfortable.
That's something I do like about this place called Chico's. Is for like
middle-aged,
kind of women.
My mom I used to go into Chico's with my mom, and we would,
Same. Go to town on some Chico's.
Your mom's a Chico's mom?
Oh, she's a Chico's lady. And listen, I've bought a couple things from Chico's, and I'll tell you what I like about it. Their sizing, they start at a 00, and then it's 0, and then it's 1, 2, 3. Okay. They do this like 1, 2, 3 type size, makes you feel good. Cause you're like, I'm wearing a size 1. I'm wearing a size 2. You know what I mean? It's not this up, going up 14, 16. It feels good when you're putting on a 3.
That's kind of fun. Maybe more businesses should just do your own system. Just be like, hey, this is a queue.
And while we're at it, fuck, Europe and everywhere where their sizes, they're like, oh, she's wearing a UK size 4, which is really a US 00 because because we're so big or whatever.
Right.
That a 4 over there is a 00 over here. Fuck y'all. Y'all ain't cute anyway. To be honest, here's another offensive thing I want to say. I know I'm going to be real for real. Y'all are not cute over there in the UK. There's a couple y'all that are okay, but we are way cuter over here. So quit acting like you're so skinny and perfect because you're not.
Okay.
We're cuter over here.
Okay. This is actually a perfect transition into one of my characters who lives in foggy London town.
Oh, no.
And of course, his name is Harry.
Oh.
Ron. And that was
wretched.
Harry.
That was not good. And also, you did have a English butler character who you've been before.
Ron.
What are you doing? That's not right.
Hello. Well, I'm doing him when he was hitting puberty.
Okay. All right.
Doy. So anyway, guys, and this is not a joke. I was asked to be in an underwear commercial for a legit underwear brand. You could go online and buy these things. I have a bunch of pairs now because they gave me.
I wish you would have got some for me.
What do you mean get some for you? It's not
just
like they're like,
I want to get some
all these pairs of women's underwear.
I know they had women's underwear there.
No, they did have women's underwear, but not for me. They had it for the women who were on set.
You did that. Yeah, but you did that thing. And I wish you would have just said, my sister, my friend, let me get her one of these as a thing. I told her I'd get her one and they would have given you one. And I could have worn those underwear and thought about you.
No, I mean, I was already stealing, a lot for myself. So it's like, you can't be like leaving with fistfuls of women's underwear.
I don't see why you couldn't, but go ahead.
Well, that's all I had to say about that. I couldn't.
So Joe was in an underwear commercial. I have been excited about this for a while.
Yes. We talked it on last week's bonus.
We did talk about the bonus episode. There's things that happen on the bonus that if you're not a patron, you're not going to hear. And also if you want to hear us talk about, Ruth Bader Ginsburg's passing, Breonna Taylor, anything that's going to upset you, you're going to want to go to patreon.com/heavyfriending, become a patron. But we did talk about it on the bonus episode, and I've been looking forward to it since.
Yeah. Cause it just happened 2 days ago.
I wanted to ask Joe all about it, but I didn't because I wanted to say for the podcast.
You knew.
So now I cannot wait. There's just so much that I want to know because I will say this on the bonus episode. You said to me that you were going to be wearing boxer briefs.
Yes.
And I believe I don't know if I said it on mic or off mic, that you were going to end up in briefs because they were going to play you.
You might have said that.
I asked what you were going to do about, trimming it up down there, landscaping and whatnot. So I got questions about that.
Yeah. I can answer everything.
This wasn't a solo photo shoot. And
True.
So I got questions about that.
Okay.
There's a lot. So
I will say I don't think I've ever done like a professional commercial before. So from every aspect of this was entirely new because you're like, okay, let's take a guy who hasn't really left his apartment in, 8 months, 6 months, 7 months.
Yeah.
Let's take a guy who's afraid of people.
Right.
and their breathing. Let's put him in a commercial, which he has not really done. And let's put him in his underwear, which also is something he doesn't really do.
Exactly.
So like
although
from
you
everything
have, to be fair to the listener, he has worn his underwear on television before.
Well, I did that once, but I had very specific conditions.
Yeah.
And the conditions were they had to pay for a spray tan. And they did. And also, I knew about that more than they told me like a week before. So my body is as my body was going to be. It's not like I could,
as my body does.
Yes. I couldn't get a spray tan. I couldn't change my diet to lose like a couple pounds. It was like, this is what it is.
So walk me through, you get to set. All right.
Okay. So I get to set and I'm nervous. It's like 7 a.m. So I'm like very tired. I don't get up that early. I got up at 6 or something to get ready.
Yeah.
So it's still dark out and there's people unloading. So it's easy to know which house it is. Cause that was, you don't want to like knock on the wrong house.
Right. It was in someone's house, which is a little weird too.
Yes. Cause it's sort of, that's the idea for the shoot is that it's going to be, should we say the name of the underwear?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Cause they should pay us.
Cause I'm trying to get a sponsorship. I do want one. I want one so bad.
It's called Plums, and the weird thing about them is they're only sold on Amazon right now.
Okay.
So they don't have their own website. You have to buy them on Amazon. So if you search for Plums, and then if you it's like funky patterns. So they have like zebra and tiger and leopard and then like Hawaiian, all these funky patterns. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if we should compare them to another underwear company, but
they're so good. They're not comparable.
They're not comparable, but they're a lot like MeUndies. So
this is a good clip to take out though, and to play for them and show these people about what we could do with these underwear and how we could promote them. Oh, and you know what? And as far as the product is concerned, because obviously I spent the day in them, right? It's a wonderful underwear. And I'm saying that as a person who I don't make any more money if you buy the underwear or not. Like I honestly, I mean, if you need some new underwear,
take a look. If you like them, buy them. If you don't, I don't really care because it's not like I'm making additional money.
Right. But we would make more money if we got a sponsorship. So
right. If we had a promo code like, friending heavy.
Plum time.
Plum
whatever.
time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I show up on set and everyone's in masks, because that was the thing. I was most concerned about that, which is funny. I was more concerned about masks than I was about being in my underwear on camera.
Yeah.
But they were all in masks. It seemed good. They took my temperature. So again, I was like, great. Yeah. So then I did makeup.
Right.
And
spoiler alert, guys. Okay. Men wear makeup on a shoot. Okay.
On a shoot and in real life, like every day.
And you know what? I just want to do a little aside to this.
Great.
Since we're saying this. I played a live stream on Friday.
Okay.
I played bass for my friend Sarah, who had this amazing live stream show at this amazing place where, I mean, you wouldn't believe how it looks. It was so amazing, so professional. Like, I've never been a part of anything like this. A huge camera crew, like, it was awesome. Right before we're to begin our set, like literally seconds, the woman who was bugging the ever living shit out of me the whole day comes up and says, "You got to Sarah and I only." Now, mind you, there's 4 people in this band. 2 of them are men, 2 of them are women. She comes up to the women and goes, "Ladies, this is in 4K, just so you know, okay?" And we're like, "Okay." And she's like, "So do you want to powder your T-zones?" And we were like, "Is our makeup messed up?" She's like, "Well, it's in 4K, just letting you know." And we were like, and we like run because the fucking show's about to start and it's a live stream. Run to go put makeup on. So I just want to say, what about the other 2 motherfuckers in the band? What about their T-zones?
Well, their T-zones are probably fucked.
Yeah, they're so fucked.
She was doing you a favor.
So anyway, yeah, men wear makeup too. So you get your makeup on. Here we go.
Men do wear makeup. So yeah, I'm getting my makeup done and it kind of comes up. I'm like, you had mentioned like, oh, they're going to make you wear briefs.
Yeah.
So I was sort of starting to ask her like, how does, would I feel like I would need makeup. I was, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, cause I have, like some stretch marks on my hips from, I guess from growing taller,
just being a human. Yeah. We all have stretch marks.
And I was like, I don't, I think that would maybe be distracting for an underwear commercial. Well, maybe not. I don't know.
But they want to show bodies. I think it would be powerful.
Well, but I think for me, I'm just probably more self-conscious than I really care if they're helpful for the commercial or not.
Right.
But that's the thing. I guess we haven't really explained, like, the reason they asked me was that this is supposed to be a more fun commercial, like a more every sort of day kind of person. Well, I think a lot of people have seen my body and they think it's really good.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like talking, and then she kind of like, she's asking, like, I feel I always open up pretty well to like makeup artists.
Yeah.
Because they're always so good at listening. And also she obviously has been on so many sets compared to me.
Well, it's like a hairstylist or any, like, you just,
right. You're sitting there
comfortable in the chair.
Yeah. And she's, right. And so she's sort of my sensei. And I'm talking to her about it, and she's like, "Well, did you, like, what sort of like manscaping stuff did you do?" And blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, "Well, I wanted it to look natural,
right?
So I didn't like shave it down to the thigh, like I didn't shave all my thighs because I didn't really know." And she's like, "Okay." So like, it was sort of nerve wracking, but she was like, she kind of said like, "If you need me to touch it up or, whatever, we can do that."
Scary.
Well, no, that was comforting because I was like,
I know it's comforting, but also it seems to me like showing a giant bush would be more comfortable to me than someone getting a buzzer and buzzing my bush for me. You know what I'm saying?
I don't have, to be clear, I didn't have a bush. I mean, I don't think I want to describe it in too much detail, but I think the challenge for me was not bush.
Okay.
It was the thigh transition to,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I don't,
I feel you.
So that's what I was worried about. And then also just like, I was like, I'm very pale and I have these, stretch scar things.
You had such a rough, I mean, that's a lot.
It's a lot. Right. And I never, because that was the thing. And, I had requested that I get to try the underwear on before the day so I could, see how my hair transition
exactly.
would work in the actual product. So
but
you're not just
boxer briefs.
Right. And boxer briefs doesn't really matter because it's going to cover a lot more.
Yep.
So you can see.
I do want to do one more aside. Speaking of giant bush.
To. Yeah. Oh, okay.
There's this chick on Instagram. Okay. And she's from Austin. And I'm not going to say her handle. And I'm not going to say it not because I don't want to hurt her feelings. I'm not going to say it because I don't want her getting any more traffic to her fucking Instagram. All her Instagram is like pictures of her giant fucking bush. Okay.
Her bush, it's just a close up?
No, yes, legit. Like she'll put on like underwear that are like really narrow at the fucking crotch and they'll literally just be like massive bush, or it'll be like a side shot of her like fucking bush sticking off like fucking 4 inches.
Yeah.
And her bush is red and the hairs is like cotton candy wispies. It's the most heinous, honest to God, the weirdest. Most
now you have to send me a link.
Oh, I will 100% send this to you. Like you have to see how gross this is. Literally every picture is like, look at my bush. And I just personally want to be like, your bush is kind of like not impressive. Like it's thin and wispy and it kind of sucks. Like you want to see a bush, bitch? You want to see a fucking bush?
Yeah.
I'm Italian. I'll show you a bush. You don't know nothing about no bush with your little redhead wispy ass bush. Okay. Get out of here. And that's your claim to fame? Is that wispy ass cotton candy ass bush? Anyway, that's her whole Instagram. And she has like 30,000 followers and it's all to look at her cotton candy bush. Anyway. All right. Back to your pubic hair, Joe.
Well, mine's not I really think because it turns out, to jump ahead, they thought I did an excellent job, or the makeup artist thought I did an excellent job. So we do that. And then so we're basically what we're doing for the Plums company, which I think is a very funny name for an underwear company.
It's gendered too, for sure.
We have men's and women's, but I called my butt cheeks my reverse plums. And I said, cause at one point they're getting a close up of my butt. And then they also got a close up of my front. So the front was my plums, and then my back was my reverse plums.
Yeah, right. I got you.
But we'll get to that.
Were you on the whole time? Were you doing little routine up there, or making jokes, making them laugh?
I'm very fun on set, I will say. I think I'm good at just like shooting the shit with people.
Yeah.
But I will say, like, I'm nervous once the camera is rolling. I'm still not comfortable. I feel like when I know I only have like 15 seconds for the commercial.
Right.
And with this one, we had a lot of stuff to shoot because we were shooting. I think we started the day we intended to shoot 3 like different commercials, basically, plus a bunch of photos.
Yeah.
So it was a huge ask because the crew was pretty limited for like COVID stuff.
Right.
So it was an ambitious day. And so the first little commercial was actually sort of, entirely based off of my Instagram, where I don't know if you've seen it, but I'm like talking on Zoom and you see me in a tie and a dress shirt. And then I like say, okay, thanks. And bye-bye. And then I stand up and I'm completely nude.
Right.
And then I walk away.
Right.
So this was like the exact same concept. I'm talking on a Zoom, but I'm the boss now. Oh. And I'm like wrapping it up. And then I stand up and I'm wearing a suit and a tie.
Right.
And then when I stand up, I'm wearing Plums underwear.
Right.
So we did that one first. And that one I was wearing the boxer briefs. So it was pretty easy. But again, I was like looking back at it, I'm like, I don't know if I did a great job, like performing.
Well, it's hard to know. You got to hope you got a good editor, you know?
Well, you got to hope you have a good editor. And really, in the moment, you really can only trust the director.
Yeah, yeah.
Because there was no script. So he was like, kind of like, you know, I want you to just improv it, do what feels natural and that kind of stuff. So he would come over after each take and make a suggestion or do something. So you really have to like trust this guy that I've never met before, you know, and like trust.
And he doesn't know what you can do.
Well, he knows what I can do in the sense that he's seen me do that on my Instagram, and he's seen some of the stuff I post on Instagram. So but that's all he really knows.
Yeah, bar was low.
But he doesn't know, like, you know, he maybe doesn't know how to communicate things to me or you know, like what I think is good. So it is just like a weird situation where you have to trust this person that you don't actually know. And like, I like him. He's a really nice guy. I would happily work with him again. But it is just like
casting for a fucking movie.
What?
What is he casting for a movie? What are you kissing his ass for?
Well, this actually reminds me. I have another character. If you'd like to,
sure, I'd love to
hear it.
I'd love to hear it.
This one's called Dwayne.
Okay,
and it's the same name as another character,
I know,
but it is a different character.
Of course.
Don't you know I like to go to the store? So, and then that
of all the sentences, too.
What?
Don't you know I like to go to the store? It's great.
Well, there's just certain words that are easier to say.
Don't you know? I can't do it. Let's see if I can do it. Okay.
You kind of did it.
Don't you know I like to go to the store?
No.
Store.
No.
Say it again. Let me try again. Come on.
Well, I already don't know how to do it. So.
Okay, we'll do it again.
This is the problem with me, though. On set, I'm like, I don't really know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So he would give me instructions. I'm like, I'm going to try and do this. But I really don't know. And I've had to I've worked on sets before, obviously. And even in like acting roles for little short films and stuff. And I'm like, I really, I used to not be good at taking direction. I still don't know if I'm good at taking direction, but now I'm not. Now I'm actually trying to do it. Before I would try and do it in my own way, you know, I wouldn't trust whoever was telling me to do it in a different way. I'd just be like, okay. And then I wouldn't really do it their way. I'd do it how I wanted to do it.
Yeah, I get that from you.
But this way, I feel like it was the opposite, where I felt nervous to put my own spin on it, you know? And so I really can't tell you if I did a good job for this.
Well, we're all going to see. We're all going to find out.
I know. Well, I certainly tried. So that was the first thing. It was pretty quick. But the second thing was where the briefs got involved.
Yeah.
So
and we knew it was coming.
The whole time, in my conversations with them, I was like, I want to wear boxer briefs. And he told me that I would be wearing a shirt for everything. And I was like, great. I definitely want to be wearing a shirt. And I was like, I'll be more comfortable in boxer briefs. This has been very clear. So then he's like, okay, yeah, we'd like you to wear, we might do some takes with the boxer briefs, but we'd like to also do you in the briefs. And this scene is basically I'm at the laundry machine, the dryer. I pull out these underwear, put them on, and then I kind of strut over to. I grab toilet paper and then I strut through the living room and I look at myself in the mirror. I'm like, hey, dude. And then I strut to the bathroom. I guess the idea is you're supposed to think I'm going to go take a nice dump.
Yeah, it sounds like that.
Okay, good.
Sounds like an interesting concept. It sounds like a concept I would come up with, honestly.
Well, yeah. So I'm going to the bathroom. I get to the bathroom and wouldn't you know it, my wife's there.
Taking a big fat shit.
And I toss her the roll and I'm like, man, it really stinks in here. What'd you do? It smells like shit. And no, I'm just kidding. Yeah, it's basically, I just throw her the roll.
No, it smells like shit. Keep going with that.
That's what I would have liked to have more fun with it.
Yeah. Man, it smells like shit in here. And then you toss it.
Because apparently initially the idea
was like Plums.
Plums underwear for
shit. People who take giant dumps.
Well, apparently initially the idea was that she would be bringing me the toilet paper and I'm taking the sticky shit. So
I don't like that. I don't like that.
We put it
the woman
on
bringing the man toilet paper, not in this day and age. No.
Well, that's what's great about this was that we flipped it on its head. She's the stinky one.
Flipped it. She's a stink butt.
She's a stink butt with a dookie on her ass cheeks. Then
Duke.
I'm the one being sexy through the house.
Yeah.
Sexy, fun, playful.
Of course.
That's why
like you in a nutshell.
That's why they wanted me to wear the briefs. Because it's sexy, fun, playful.
Of course.
But then the big wrench got thrown in was the band of the Plums Underwear says Plums.
Yeah.
And so they really wanted to show that this band said the name of the brand.
Okay, you've been played. Now listen to me, Joe.
Okay.
Joe, you've been played. This ain't their first commercial, all right? And they know they want to see that goddamn waistband, and they've been knowing that from day one. And if you think it just occurred to them after they talked to you that they gonna want to see that waistband and that they wanted you without your shirt on, you're fucking crazy. You've been played, brother.
Well, I don't know, because that's the thing.
That's like some casting couch 101 type shit that happened to you.
It felt that way where it was like, because I was like, we show me literally pull the underwear out of the dryer and I put it on and I'm like, haven't you ever pulled on underwear where like the shirt's like partly tucked in because you're just throwing them on, right? Mm-hmm. So like I was like talking to them. I'm like it's not weird if it was like half tucked in and you saw it.
You're trying to find ways out of it, Joe.
That's what I was doing. But also I was like, I don't think it's like insane to think like I would I'm doing laundry. I'm clearly not wearing underwear. I throw underwear on while I'm bringing my wife toilet paper. Yeah. I don't think it's weird to think like I wouldn't, I might accidentally tuck my shirt in and not give a shit because I'm going to the bathroom.
Yeah.
So I was kind of making that argument. I'm like, but also I've never watched underwear commercials closely enough to see like how do they show the waistband? Are they always naked? Like, are they always shirtless? I really don't know. Like women, I assume, are generally wearing like a bra and their underwear. I
don't know what underwear commercial, if I really see that. I mean, I see an ad, but I don't know if I see a commercial. Like, I feel like I see images more than I see a moving picture.
Yeah. So I was like, I don't really know, but I'm like, I feel like it's not that weird to tuck it in. So anyway, I grab and then the makeup person kind of comes to my defense again. Yeah. She was my rock.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, we could hem it. We could cut and hem the shirt to make it look like it's just a shorter shirt. And I was like, great. Because at this point I'm like, I'm not doing it shirtless. There's no chance.
Yeah. Well,
so then,
don't we all start that way?
That's how I was like, I didn't say I absolutely wouldn't wear briefs.
Well, then that was your first mistake.
But I said I would be more comfortable in the boxers.
Yep.
But shirt was never even a question. He had always said, "Oh, you're going to be wearing a shirt."
Did you say I absolutely will not be shirtless?
Well, I didn't have to because.
Okay. Well, then they knew that you would do it. I'm just saying they knew.
He told me I would be wearing a shirt, so I did. It's not like I would be like,
"Yeah, I know,
great," because I under no circumstances would wear it.
Right, but when this was happening, when it
happened, I said no. I was much more forceful about the shirt, but we're getting there because this is what happened. So she's like, "Oh, we could hem it. Let's try and figure it out." And then he's like, "What about like a crop top, like an athletic
crop top? The fuck?
Yeah, like a
trying to play my boy? Have him walking around in a fucking crop top? Are you fucking kidding? You're trying to emasculate my fucking friend that hard to have him walk around in a crop top?
Oh no. Well, you're not gonna like how this ends then.
Oh Jesus.
Because so they cut this shirt, in half and make a little crop top. And then I go to the bathroom. I bring a shirt, a normal shirt. I bring the crop top. I bring the boxer briefs, and I bring the briefs. Okay. And I'm going through, and I'm seriously considering my options. Yeah. So I put the briefs on. Yeah. I look at it shirtless. Yeah. I go, okay. I look at it with the crop top. I go, okay. I go with the t-shirt. I go, okay. Then I do it, the same thing with the boxer briefs. Mm-hmm. Okay. Shirtless. Okay. Mm-hmm. The crop top. Okay. Mm-hmm. And then I do the shirt. Now, personally, I'm like, I like the shirt best because I think I look the best in the shirt.
Right.
Where you're not seeing parts of my body.
We all want the shirt.
Right.
Not for you. I'm just saying for ourselves. We want the shirt.
Most people don't want to be in a commercial.
Now, me, no offense, but me, I'd say, hey,
right.
Don't want to make this X-rated because I'll lose it all.
Well, it felt like a porno at some point. Yeah. It's just because I'm standing around in my underwear.
And I want to, and I do want to touch on this real quick. You're just the concept of this that they've set up here is that you are in the laundry room doing laundry, but you're naked.
I'm naked, completely naked.
Right. And then your wife is shitting on the toilet. So to me, what's the implication here? That you just fuck the shit out of your wife?
No, the implication is we had a wild night last night. Because when I walked through the living room, it's chaos. There's underwear on the lamp.
Okay.
There's I guess I don't know. I guess I got up early to do laundry, and
it just seems to me.
And maybe she got up, and then she's like, "Oh man, I really have to shit."
Okay.
And then she does that.
All right. Well. All right. Okay.
But to
me, I see this. I'm thinking he just fucked the literal shit out of his wife.
Oh, well, I mean, honestly,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, maybe
you're
that's
naked.
It.
And you got a smile on your face. You're all peppy walking to the bathroom, and you already know she's shitting. You've got the toilet paper because you know what you did.
Honestly, I'm fine with that. If people are like, "Oh man, that guy,
he's got a big one. Yeah,
that guy's had sex with someone. That's
cool.
Did it.
He did it. All right.
So that's fun.
Man in that crop top. Is that what we're landing on?
Okay, so here's where it lands on because I looked at it and when I went into that bathroom, I'll tell you, I was like, it's gonna be t-shirt and boxer briefs. But when I looked at the different combinations, I came to the conclusion that it had to be briefs.
It had to be cropped up
because the briefs were funny, and also the weird thing about boxer briefs. Let me just tell you the story. The thing about boxer briefs is, they're tight and there's so much more fabric. And, I've talked about this on this show. I think my thighs are big. Maybe it's a scar from emotional abuse or something.
Definitely, for sure.
But
sexual.
I think the cut of the briefs actually was more flattering than the boxer briefs because it's almost like the boxer briefs. It's
I get it.
It's like they're trying to hold you in. So then it pulls you in, and then you're you look fatter on top.
Yeah, I have large thighs, and I think I look better with in a bikini bottom than I do in a short.
Yes,
I
was like, so it's funnier to wear briefs. A man in briefs is definitely funnier than a man in boxer briefs, but also I think it's more flattering. So I'm like, okay, I'm going briefs.
Right.
Now, if we're not doing full length t-shirt, I don't want to do shirtless. So I'm doing crop top, and that's what I did.
Okay.
Crop top, a great crop top, and tiger striped briefs.
Okay.
So you don't think that's good?
Well, I wish you would have texted me. I wish you would have sent me some pics and consulted a little bit. But hindsight, and what's done is done. Crop top. It's rough, man. I'm just gonna be honest with you.
No, I agree. I don't love that it happened with a crop top.
Yeah.
But anyway, so the shots, they shoot close-ups of me pulling it out. So you only see my hand pulling the underwear out. Then you only see my feet stepping into the underwear. And then
how are your toes looking on this day? Did you do some toe maintenance before?
I don't really need toe maintenance. I mean, the toenails are cut. And
okay, good.
All you need.
Okay, just making sure.
So we're not seeing my face for the hand, the grabbing of the underwear. We're not seeing the face. And again, I think of my face as being the thing that is funny, right? I don't think my ass is funny, particularly. I don't think a crop top, I don't think my body is the joke. I don't think they asked me to do it because they're like, he has a funny looking body. You know what I mean? Like, I assume it was because of my face and like expressions.
Well, you know what they say about assumptions.
So they get a shot. Like, so most of this commercial now is actually going to be my ass walking through this house in slow motion.
Yep.
Oh, and my front plums.
Yep.
A close up on that with like my crop top a little bit there. And there's like one shot of me where I look in the mirror and I like, I don't know, I wink or something.
Yeah. And I know I can see you in my mind's eye, exactly the face you make.
Yeah. And so I do that. And that's the only thing. And I wasn't like fully confident about like what I did. So I hope it was funny. So that's like the only moment. And then the other one is a wide shot in the bathroom where I throw her the thing. But then they got close-ups of her reacting to me throwing the toilet paper, but they didn't get reactions of me like doing something funny or like a weird look. So like, I don't know, like on my end, I'm like, I know I'm not the director, so I don't want to be like, hey, what about, maybe we should get a close-up of me like after I throw her the toilet paper or as I throw her.
So it seems, and it feels like it was all about the bod. And, you know.
Which, I think that's why and again, I'm not like actually like annoyed or mad or anything because it was a fun experience. And I think in general, I think they were honest with me. I mean, and I get why it's like funnier to do that stuff because obviously I want it to be funny.
Right.
But, you know, that it was like, okay, I'm going to do this thing where I have to show more of my body, but I'm like, but I want more of my face. That, you know, like to me, what's valuable about being in this commercial for me is like,
is that your face is in it? Of
is
course.
that I would show my face. I'd be like, hey, I'm not just like a guy who's willing to do something stupid. It's like, I'm actually kind of funny, you know? Yeah. So I don't necessarily feel like I was that funny in the commercial.
Well, we're going to find out. We're going to find out.
I know. And I might be surprised. I might be funny. Like,
and you know, patrons, we'll rip it from wherever it is and we'll put it on our Patreon.
Well, I'll probably put it on my social.
Yeah, he'll put it on social, but you know,
publicly.
Patreon. I don't know why you're trying to discourage, you know, it'll be on Patreon, guys. Exclusive.
I mean, there might be things I would be willing to put on Patreon that I wouldn't be willing to put on my public. That's
true. In fact, why don't you do a shot of you in the underwear and let's just see what it looks like. Let's get a preview.
Come on, I don't have anything. I didn't really take pictures.
What if we got, but you got the underwear.
Oh, you're saying I would do it right like now?
Yeah, put them undies on and give them a shot. We're turning this Patreon into an OnlyFans.
I really don't want to think about it until
What if you knew it would be a spike in our patrons if you did it? What if you knew we could get 4 new patrons from it? Would you do it?
Well, but that's the thing. These photos of me in my underwear, I would much rather do these professional ones where they had nice lighting. I mean, that's the advantage. Like I was really self-conscious of doing this walk through the house, but they had like really nice, like kind of natural lighting. The camera's beautiful. Like I looked way better in the commercial than I did in real life.
I'm sure.
So I guess in that sense, I'm like, okay with it. You know,
I would start an OnlyFans, except that I would be so hurt if no one subscribed to it.
I feel like you talk about starting an OnlyFans enough where you should start an OnlyFans.
Well, do you know, I actually asked because I was going to start a Patreon for my music. And I asked if I should start an OnlyFans or a Patreon. And obviously not a, you know, naked OnlyFans, but just what I would do on Patreon. And everyone resoundingly was like, ew, gross. Do not start an OnlyFans. Like everyone thought it was going to be that OnlyFans is a gross space for like nudity.
Well, I think that is the perception, but I also think the problem is
we had talked about it, remember?
Right. But I think the other problem is if you don't do nudity on OnlyFans, people kind of get mad in the other way because they're like, well, I expected nudity. So it's like people either don't sign up because they're like, oh, it's gross, or they do sign up because they want it to be gross.
And
then it's not gross. And you're like, well, dang.
If I knew we would get 4 more patrons, I would post a picture of me in my underwear on our OnlyFans. I mean, on our Patreon.
If you, okay.
Not 4. It would have to be more. I think I'm worth more than 4. It would have to be 10. 10 new patrons.
Okay. So I don't know how we could like.
Well, from this episode, if we get 10 new ones before the next episode.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm not. No, we need to stop this now.
I think it's exciting that you're willing to do that.
Well, what's the difference I post pictures of me in swimsuits all the time. What's the difference in that and underwear? You know what I mean? Like this world is fucked up because I think my swimsuit is tinier than my undies.
Oh, you have big underwear?
No, but my swimsuits are tiny.
Do you have Plums underwear?
No, I would love a pair, but you didn't get me one. Thank you guys so much for listening to Heavy Friending. We're going to talk to you next week, and next week we'll probably answer some of your calls. Remember to call us on our hotline. That number is.
Oh boy, I closed it.
Yeah, it's all right. The number is in the description of this podcast. You can also email us at heavyfriending@gmail.com. Find us on social media, and if you want to become a patron, you want to hear these bonus episodes, you want to see a picture of me in my underwear. I'm not going to post it, but go to patreon.com/heavyfriending, and we'll see you next week. How short of a crop? Like where was it hitting on your?
It was so high. I was like, okay.
Like, tell me where was it hitting?
I mean, it was like rib cage, It was like,
oh, geez.
It was like pretty much the whole stomach out there.